Good evening, you guys, on this snowy, hilly, cold evening. Here in Louisiana. Yeah, here in Louisiana. Welcome back to the show. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Hopefully everything goes well. But before we get started, I definitely want to let's do something different. Um, let's see here. Let's start off the show since I don't have the setup that I like. We're going to start off the show with a little bit of music. How about that? Okay. Let, let, let's start off the show with some music. Listen. So,
I used to count the pennies, now I count the stars. Every blessing multiplies, no matter where we are. Gratitude's the currency, it never runs dry. Abundance in my spirit, I'm soaring sky high. Every sunrise whispers more than I can dream. Abundance paints the canvas, life's a flowing stream. Don't chase the shadows, I walk into the light. Overflow surrounds me, everything's alright. Overflow, overflow. The river of my life just grows. Overflow, overflow. I'm living in abundance. Watch me glow. No limits, no ceiling. The blessings overflow. Abundance keeps on rising. Higher than I know.
all right. So that is from my last album called Abundant Rising. You can definitely check that out on our YouTube channel. It's called Music Princess 2026. Um, there's several other albums I've already done. I got one already together. I just haven't uploaded it yet. But if you go to my YouTube channel, it's called Music Princess 2026, and you can listen to all the ones I've already done. Also, you can also listen to some of this music. You're going to be able to hear it over on Rooted and Rising Radio because I'm in the process of definitely getting that up and running. Um, I had to wind up. Let me tell you what happened. So my I love my son because my son is so good with different types of equipment. I'm pretty good, but if I get a snag, I know Mr. Man going, I keep on harassing him until I get what I need. So he's like, we were sitting down testing my mixer, right? And things were like it kept going in and out. So I just so happened picked up the box and I kind of like squeezed it together, right? And I noticed that when I squeezed it together, the music, matter of fact, I can show you what it looks like. This is a mixing box, right? So when I kept doing this, it kept going in and out. So I was like, man, I know what it is. I gotta get me another one. So all I did was go on Amazon and I sent them a message and told them that I'm having problems with my box. Man, they sent me a new whole set all over again because it comes with my mic. the arm and everything else, right? So it didn't take them long. I got in no time. And so I haven't tried it out yet. So once I got this all tried out, because you guys, it's a lot to this. Being able to make sure that I'm live on air while I'm doing the shows, that's what I'm trying to get at, and that's my holdup because I need to make sure I'm online, I'm live because live is a big thing when you're doing a radio. It is very, very much so. So even when you're doing podcasts, it's live. It's good. I mean, you can pre-record. There's nothing wrong with pre-recording, but I would prefer to have my stuff live. Talking to people. So him and Brother Jay. You probably hear me mention that name. His name is actually Leroy Vallow. Um, Brother Jay and him definitely. My son keeps me I mean, on the up and up. So before we get started, I want to tell you that we come on here Saturdays and Wednesdays. Saturdays at 7:30, which we're here now, and on Wednesdays we come on at 7 o'clock. Um, and we're in the process of doing this book right here, the Women Empowering Women's Lives, Stress-Free Living, empowering women to thrive in a chaotic, world. Now, this is what it looks like. This is an ebook, okay? This is not a paperback book, but it's actually an ebook that I'm doing. If you're interested in getting a copy of the ebook, you can definitely go to our website. You can't clip my wings. Let me put that in there and go on to shop. The reason why I don't have it over here on Talk Shop Live, because I have never set it up to do it over here. Um, and my website, I mean, this is just one avenue of ways I can get information out, but my website is where everything is. I definitely would like for you guys to visit my website, if nothing else. Visit it and check out the different pages we have. Um, you can go on there and shop. You can go on there and read some of our blogs, even some of my talk shows from other, in my podcast from other podcasts that I did, right? Um, so, like I said, I've been doing this for a minute and I definitely like it. Look, I think I like it because I learned in the process of doing this type of work. Um, and I definitely want what I'm telling you guys. Because let me say this: I don't want anybody to ever get the impression that I'm this perfect person. I'm far from that. Okay, I never try to indicate to you guys that I am. I'm far from it. I don't think there's such thing as being perfect. I don't believe in that. I'm a person who's made mistakes, who've been wrong about stuff, who knows how to apologize and be accountable because sometimes that's hard for a lot of us. A lot of us have never been taught to do that. Everything is a learning curve, and a lot of times we don't realize that sometimes things happen because they need to happen, right? um, so we learn how to adjust our lives to those different things that happen as long as we're realizing that we need to be accountable for those things if we're doing anything that we just have to learn from them, right? um, and in the process of doing that, also we have to look at how we view ourselves because this is a big thing for me. How do I see myself when I say things or do things, right? Am I seeing myself in the way that I need to? Is something missing? You know, um, how do we move forward on things, right? If we do, feel the need that we have to be accountable for the things that we do. Um, and it's important. That part is important. So now I'm gonna kind of get off of that because it was very important for me to say. When I come on here or when I do any of my live shows like this, most of the time when I'm talking, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to me. I'm talking to me in many, many ways in different situations that's probably taken place prior to me coming on here or something that happened in the past that comes up. And I think I have a need to say something about it. So that's the reason why I say that. And sometimes I say, well, you know what? Maybe you're over talking. Well, when I get that under control, I'll get it under control. Right now, I'm under control. Huh? So I'm going to over talk. So anyway, so I want to say to you guys, thank you for hanging out with us here on Talk Shop Live. Um, you can still definitely look at the dresses we have in there because our wrap dresses are still there, as you see. She's still wearing a wrap dress. Um, I kind of gave my wrap dresses a break until I order some new ones. Okay, I haven't ordered my new set yet. But you definitely can check those out on there. I'm thinking that the price on here is $59 dollars for one. And with the dress comes our facial cream, Ebony Elixir facial, hyaluronic acid facial cream, and the cleanser. Okay, comes with that, and also comes with that is our affirmation card. And I know I haven't been talking about the wrap dresses a lot because I'm trying to give everything a space to be in. Because I think getting this information out to you guys are this is very important, but also are the dresses. So I have a time when I'm going to talk about more about the dresses, and I'm going to be talking about the clothes line itself, the clothing line itself. So that's coming in the future. I guess when it gets warmer, I'll feel much better to talk about it, I guess. But anyway, um getting that off the ground, you guys, that's not, and we're going to do the business thing. We're definitely going to talk business. The reason why I want to definitely talk business, because for one thing, that's my forte. And not to say that I know everything about business, but I definitely like to share information, tips, and things about whenever you start a business and the things that you can do. So we're going to get into that later on, hopefully, as long as the show can last, right? um so we're talking chapter five. We went through so much in this book so far. We've got through four chapters, which is awesome. We talked about stress. We talked about self-esteem. We talked about physical activity, how to relieve stress, breathing exercises. I told you guys, if you want a copy of the breathing exercises, if you have not purchased this book yet, definitely hit me up and I can put something together for the breathing exercises that you guys can do. And I see, this is what I wish I could have a split screen where you guys can actually see some of the pictures that are in this ebook. But you'll be able to, once you purchase it, you can see them then. If you would have made my first webinar, my second webinar, which we have one coming up on February the 2nd, please let me know if you're interested in being part of that webinar. Um, excuse me. On that the last webinar we did, we gave away this book. So if you were one of the people, not last one, the one before that one, the one for December, we gave away this book. So if you have one of those books, you can go through it. You can go back and watch this again. Come back over here and watch this again, and we can talk more. You'll see how we're going through this book. Um, excuse me, you guys. You got it. Please excuse me. Um, I'm trying to get rid of. I just went through a cold spell, so I'm trying to get rid of, and I still got some cold inside my chest. So hopefully I didn't bring my water in here or anything to drink. So hopefully I won't talk myself out of being able to not be able to do that. Okay, so we're talking chapter five. Chapter five is a good one. Chapter five is talking about time management, and it's for a balanced life. So we're going to learn how to set priorities and boundaries in this chapter. So, in the journey towards stress-free living, setting priorities and boundaries are essential for empowering women to thrive. Understand that. Wow. Understanding what truly matters in our lives allows us to focus on our energy on the right pursuits, taking focusing on making sure our energy is in the right direction. We're not wasting time and energy doing things that are not going to empower us or ascend us or send us forward, right? Or up. Avoiding the overwhelm that often leads to stress, by identifying our core values and excuse me, aligning our daily activities with them. We can create a sense of purpose that fuels our confidence and self-esteem. This clarity not only enhances our decision making abilities, but also ensures that we are directing our efforts where they will have the most significant impact. So definitely whenever we're making these decisions to change our stressors, right? Changing how we're dealing with stress, we definitely have to have a direction to go in. We definitely need a lane for each one of those things that we find that's very stressful for us and how we handle it. Okay, that's very important, right? That's why I said sometimes we don't need to be wasting our energy on things that are not relevant to what we're trying to do. And I know sometimes that's hard for us because we get preoccupied. And if you have adult ADHD, okay, adult ADHD, our focus is all over the place. So sometimes we have to just kind of stand back and start putting things in the right lane. I guess you can also say boxes, but have them in the right lane. Okay. And that's important. Establishing clear boundaries is another critical aspect of this process, right? Women often find themselves juggling numerous responsibilities, which can blur the lines in between personal and professional life. It says by learning to say no and protecting our time, because sometimes some of us do not know how to say no. I'm not doing it because I was that type of person. Being a people pleaser, remember, recovering people pleasing techniques or methods that we use is one of them is not saying no, giving everybody, all of us, okay, definitely can be a problem. um, we create space for self-care and personal growth, so we've got to do that. That is something we definitely have to do. Boundaries serve as a protective barrier that helps us maintain our mental and emotional well-being, allowing us to engage fully in the areas of our lives that bring us joy and fulfillment. So everything doesn't have to be about this hustle and bustle because that's what we do all the time. I kind of watch like different scenarios. I watch a lot like different videos and stuff, and some people talk about their routine, their daily routine. How do they deal with everyday life? They're getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. By 6, the kids have to be up. The honey has to be up, right? Breakfast has to be on the table by 7. The kids have to be out the door by 8, and you got to be out the door by 9. Okay. And then at work, you got all these project that you have to get done. You're on a team or you're over a team, right? And you got to get these projects, they got deadlines, and you got to hit those deadlines, right? And then before you know it, you're right in the middle of something and everything is going well, and then 5 o'clock hits. Now you got to hustle and bustle. Now, I didn't even mention the traffic that you have to hit or go through in the morning time, right? So you might sit in traffic. If you leave about 8:30 after the kids get off to school, say by 8 o'clock, 8:30, by 8:30, you're on the road. You have to be at work for 9. So you only have an hour to get from your house to your desk, basically, because that's what we're talking. From your house to the desk. By 9 o'clock, you need to be sitting at your desk doing the work. I'm using 9 o'clock just because I know most people get up earlier than that, and I know most people have to be out the door and all that early. But I'm gonna give it by 9 o'clock. You need to be at your desk, either reading your emails, answering phone calls, if you're taking messages, whatever it is that you have to be doing at 9 o'clock, sitting at your desk. That's where you have to be, right? Now, the day's going great. Getting a lot of projects done. Like I said, some things are hitting a deadline. Some of them you gotta get some more work done, right? And you're in the middle, right at the middle where everything is going great, and then it's 5 o'clock. Then you got to shut down everything. You really can't afford to work late because couple of kids might have some practice to do, right? Um, the honey might have something planned or whatever, right? So you got to get back home. Now, listen to this. If it took you an hour to get to work, it's taking you another hour to get home. So majority of the time, you usually don't get home till about 5:45, 6 o'clock, right? But you don't even get a chance to go straight home because guess what? When you do get home, the kids are sitting at the door because there's some type of practice or something they got to be at, right? So you're scooping them up and you're taking them to practice. That might be an hour, hour and a half. So by the time you're getting home about 7:30. By the time you get home, if the kids have not eaten, guess what you have to do? You have to feed the kids, right? You got to feed the kids. The homework has to be done. And maybe at 9 o'clock you can get into bed. Maybe. That's a good time. Most of the time it's probably about 10:15. And then your day starts over and over again. And to me, just talking about that, just imagining all that, just like was exhausting for me. Because I mean, I'm not in those shoes, so I don't know what that is. But I have, like I said, I've known people. I used to, well, yeah. And at the time that I was doing all of that, my actually, it was just me and my son, and I was a single parent. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm doing something. Okay. Um, so I was a single parent, so it was different for me. I didn't have anybody to come back me up during that time. So yeah, so you learn how to adjust, but like I said, that just sounded exhausting. But it's actually people who are out there doing this every day, not taking care of themselves, no self-care, no nothing, right? They're exhausted. And they're dealing with the kids fighting. They're dealing with, you got to take a bath. You got a child that doesn't want to get in the tub. You got the dogs. I mean, it's just so much going on. And just imagine the weight on a woman trying to maintain everything, right? And I'm not going to say the husband doesn't help. I'm not going to say that. I think sometimes men, when it comes to certain things, men just assume that we're going to be the ones who do all the work. I think they do. And some of them are raised that way, that women are supposed to deal with all the stressors, right? All the things that don't, that nobody else wants to do when it comes to maintaining the family. So, um, and my God, don't let the roles blur, right? So that's a whole nother thing. But most of the time, that is the work of the mother, a working mother, not a mother who's at home, but a working mother. Because a mother working is at home, she's working too, but it's a whole different ball game because her whole life is that house, right? When you're a working mother, not only are you the wife, the mother, and you're working, so you have three bosses. Okay, you got your husband, you got your kids, and then you got your job. So it can be a lot for her to handle. And not understanding self-care and boundaries definitely break you down, your confidence and your self-esteem. Definitely. Um, Moreover, it says prioritizing our excuse me, helps us to manage our time effectively, right? A useful technique is the Eisenhower matrix, okay? This encourages us to categorize our tasks. Remember I said put them in lanes, right? Categorize our tasks based on urgency and importance, right? By focusing on what truly matters, we can diminish feelings of guilt associated with neglecting less important responsibilities, right? This strategic approach, not only reduces stress, but also enhances our productivity and making us more efficient in our pursuits while fostering a healthy balance in life. Now, that is a great idea, but I guess I do it a little different. I think on my other show, I was talking about time blocking. So what I've done is, I think, I don't know if I told you guys, but in here I have a closet, right? And I took my closet door off and I painted it chalkboard paint, right? So on my closet door is literally a big chalkboard, and I blocked off times on when I'm going to do things. I do hourly times. So from say in the morning, my block of time for Monday through Friday, 9, because I'm not a early getter unless I'm doing something very important. I don't get up before 9 o'clock. Used to be before 11, but I've gotten better this year. For some reason, I'm waking up earlier. So from 9 to 10, I have a list of things that I do from 9 to 10. And then from 10 to 11, I have another, and I actually have them blocked off. And during that time, that's when I do everything. And then I'll go back and check off done. Okay. And it's really been helping me, really, really been helping me keeping on my clock. I stop everything at 5. Now, like if I have some late night stuff that I need to get done, like I told you guys, I was working on the radio station and stuff like that, working on songs and shows and stuff. Now that's a different thing. Those are like that. But as far as the tasks that I have to be done during the day, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, nothing else. And if I don't have anything I got listed, or I don't need to do anything the rest of the evening, I'm not going to get back on the computer. I'm going to shut it down. Because if I don't, I'll be in here, because I'm a night owl. I'll be in here 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning working on a whole bunch of stuff. I had to force myself. And again, I told you, when you have or diagnosed with ADHD, that's what keeps me up, because I'm all over the place. I'm doing this. Okay, I'm gonna start on that. I'm gonna start on that, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm not staying focused. So the way that the time blocking helps me stay focused is that I do what I have to do from 9 to 5. I sometimes walk out here, or if, like I said, if I do have some stuff that needs to get out, then I'm going to go ahead and stay a little bit later, and I'm going to get it done. When I'm tired and when I'm done, I shut down everything. Because if I don't, like I said before, I'll be in here 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I had to stop doing that, because I realized that my time should be precious and I need the rest. Now that I'm older, I need the rest. Anybody needs the rest, right? So you have to take that time out for yourself, right? Now, it is also vital to recognize that setting priorities and boundaries is an ongoing process, right? Life is dynamic, right? And our circumstances may shift. That's right. So you adjust yourself to everything that is happening in your life. Adjust. We can get stressed out. We can get upset about it, but we definitely need to be able to adapt and adjust, right? Demanding that we reassess our priorities periodically, see what's important. Doesn't mean that you have to stay on this one pattern all the time, right? This one schedule. Something might need to change. If I say from 9 to 10, I have a list of things I do, and say that, well, maybe it's not until after 10:30 that I'm able to get a lot of things done, or I've had to add something else on my list of things, and now I won't get done till 10:30. I don't need to get beat up about that. I don't need to beat myself up about it. I need to adjust my time blocking, to adjust to 10:30, from 9 to 10:30. I have to be able to do that, right? So being able to make shifts and adjustments are definitely very, and being flexible is very important. As long as you're getting what you said you, as long as the goals are getting done or completed, right? You're accomplishing all the things that you said you were going to do. That's what matters at the end of the day. Okay. This adaptability ensures that we remain aligned with our goals and values, allowing us to navigate change with confidence, right? Embracing this fluidity in our priorities transform challenges and opportunities for growth, reinforcing our resilience and self-worth. So yeah, so it's important that you be available to change. You cannot say that things are going to stay the same all the time, and then when they change, you're not adjusting with the change. You have to be able to adjust, right? In conclusion, the act of setting priorities and boundaries is an empowering practice that leads to a more fulfilling life. By consciously selecting what we engage with and learning to protect our personal space, that's right, we also enables us, this also, excuse me, I'm sorry, cultivate an environment where we can thrive. This not only elevates our confidence and self esteem, but also enables us to contribute meaningful to our families. So if you have to make any type of adjustments, you're making them so that it's not to be selfish. It's adjustments that so that you can involve everybody else, that you have that time not only for yourself, but you also have time for your family because they need your attention too, right? um and sometimes having a family sit down and having that conversation with them, even if you have to make small changes, because those changes does, if you're the person who makes sure everybody is being taken care of, right, they need to know that there was an adjustment being made, right? They need to know that. That's not something you just do on your own. They need to know that so that if that adjustment is going to affect something that they need to do, then they need to be informed about that. And sometimes it's kind of hard when you got a lot going on. Oh well, I forgot to tell you. Well, at dinner time, if nothing else, have a conversation with them. Um, put out a daily schedule or weekly schedule with them on the weekends when everybody's at home relaxing and enjoying themselves. Take an hour out the evening and sit there with them and break down how our week is going to go or how you plan the week ahead. There's a lot of things. I remember my mom used to do that with us. My mom used to sit down and we used to read books together and stuff like that. That was a time after dinner we do. And we discuss different things. And so I think that would be a great ideal to do with your family if you don't do that. Because I know everybody's all over the place. Everybody's doing this. We got iPads in our hands. We got our smartphones. We got the computers. No, put all that down and sit down with your family members and break down how the week is going to go. Because routines definitely change all the time. And you have to be ready for that change, right? And you have to be able to know that okay, I'm letting you guys know we're gonna have to figure out something, not at the last minute, not during the situation happening, but have it be proactive. We're more reactive opposed to being proactive. So I'm sorry, not pro. We need to be we're more reactive than being proactive. So we need to make sure we put everything in place prior to anything happening, and everybody being on the same wavelength, so that whenever something do somebody else can bounce in, or say you have a teenage daughter with a car, right? And the younger son, you're not going to be able to pick him up because you got to work late. She's got to know, okay, I picked these days to work late. So I'm hoping that your schedule won't be where you cannot go and pick up your little brother. Have those conversations. I think on Sunday evenings, maybe, or Saturday evenings, sit down with the family and just talk about your schedule. Write out your schedule, especially if you have a lot going on, right? And you need to have a backup plan if you can't make it, right? So and this makes it easier for everybody, not just for you. It's easy for everybody. And the stress, there's no stress there, right? So excuse me. This is not only elevates our confidence and self-esteem, but it also enables us to contribute meaningfully to our families, careers, and communities. Remember, prioritizing ourselves is not selfish, right? It is a vital step toward leading a balanced and joyful life. Now, the art of saying no. Oh my God, what a thing. Is this really, like they say, is this really a thing? Saying no to somebody? Okay. In a world that often demands more than we can give, the art of saying no becomes a vital skill for women striving to have less stress in their lives, right? Many women feel pressure to please others, right? Often as at the expense of their own well being. Learning to assertively decline requests that do not align with our values or priorities empowers us to reclaim our time and energy. Embracing this art is not about being selfish, rather, it is about recognizing our worth and setting healthy boundaries that promote our mental and emotional health. Um, for instance, and I hear this a lot. I don't do it, but I do hear this a lot of, after work, let's go. get a drink. Let's go hang out after work. Um, you already have a busy schedule. I'm not saying, oh, don't do that. I mean, to each his own. I don't believe in it. I'd rather be at home. If I've dealt with people all day long, I do not want to sit in a crowded bar with a whole bunch of more people drinking. I don't want it. That's just me. Now, to each his own. And sometimes that's the way other people learn how to relax. I can do that at home. But that's sometimes people love being around the camaraderie, the noise and all that aura that it gives off, or whatever you want to say, whatever the word is I want to use, the atmosphere. I don't, and that wouldn't be something I would want to do. That not me. But hey, to each his own. But say that you had a hard week, right? You had a lot that had to be done. You're still not completed. You're already thinking about, I might need to go back to work Saturday morning and finish off something. Friday night, everybody like, Friday night, let's go out. You're saying no. And they're looking at you like, wait a minute, what happened? We usually do this. Well, I decided that I no longer want to spend my Fridays, not with you guys, have nothing against you guys, but I want to go home and just relax. I just want to hang out with the kids, maybe watch a good movie and see how their week went, or something like that. You just don't want to do it. You don't have to really give them a reason, but if you're there, your close friends, you're going to give them a reason, right? And stick to it. And you'll see how you feel when you know how to say no. Okay. Say someone asks you to go to a wedding. No, I don't want to spend my Saturday at someone's wedding. Okay. Your boss wants to add more work on you. You are confident enough to know that they're not going to fire you if you tell them no. You can tell them no. You see what I'm saying? So you have to learn what to say no to, because it's not about me saying no, it's about you. I was just giving different type of examples that you can use, that you can kind of think about in your mind. How would you say no? Explain. Sometimes people need to be explained to. So if you have to explain it to them why this is not benefiting you. Because again, this is about you. This is not about anybody else. How would this benefit me if I go do this? Am I going to still be tired, exhausted? Am I still going to be fussy? Am I still going to, all these things, if it's going to affect you mentally, emotionally, and physically, that's when you think of whether or not you want to do it. Okay? Because that's something we usually don't do. Because again, we didn't have boundaries before. We don't know how to say no before. But now you have a way of saying no, and you'll feel a different way. And like I said, when you're a people pleasing person, because that's basically one of the things they're talking about, when you're a people pleasing person, it's hard to say, no, I don't think I want to go. Okay, I'll go. And you're not really having a good time because that's not really what you wanted to do. But because you want to please other people, you go, right? When you hang out, and then you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. You'll get to a point where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And you'll start saying no more often, right? To master the art of saying no, it is essential first to understand our own needs, yeah, and limits. This introspection allows us to determine when we are genuinely available and willing to help, and when we need prioritizing ourselves. Building self awareness can significantly bolster our confidence, enabling us to communicate our decisions more effectively. When we are clear about our priorities, it becomes easier to say no without guilt, transforming our approach to personal and professional relationships. So now you know how to deal with saying no to your coworkers, and that's on the professional level. And personal, no, I'm going to stay at home tonight. Yeah, I'm not going to go out. I'm going to go straight home from work. Yeah, you guys, I know I'm always, I know you guys go out, have a good time, be careful, call me if you need me. Um, just have a good time. And Get in your car or whatever and go home and do whatever it is that you need to do. And don't feel guilty about it. Okay? There's no need to feel guilty. Just be learn how to say no. Moreover, saying no can lead to an unexpected opportunities. By declining commitments you do not serve that do not serve your goals, you create a space for experiences that align with our passions and aspirations. So when you say no to something that you don't no longer want to do, now you have time to do something you want. Like you just want to relax. On Friday evenings, I just want to go home, take off my clothes, take a good shower, or take a hot bath, put on a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, right? Get me something nice to drink. I'm not talking alcoholic wise. I mean, to each his own. But a good nice drink, maybe a small bowl of ice cream, and just sit back and watch TV or be on your Kindle, read a book on your Kindle or something. But you just want to relax at home in your own environment, not dealing with nothing or nobody, in the quietness. Okay, I think that's. I'm just like, wow, I like that, being able to say no. Because I had to learn how to stop putting myself in everything, right? Um, Feeling the need that I always have to fill the void for everything. And once you get out of that, oh my God, it's such a bet. I'm telling you, it is a breathtaking feeling, like, right? This newfound freedom can enhance our overall quality of life, allowing us to invest our time in pursuits that truly resonate with us. Excuse me. As we embrace this art, we find ourselves fulfilled and less overwhelmed by the chaos around us. That's right. I love that. Excuse me. Ultimately, the art of saying no is a journey of self discovery and empowerment. As women, we will, when we learn to prioritize our needs and communicate them effectively, right? So everybody can hear. I'm not doing it. Okay. We foster a culture of respect and understanding. This not only benefits our lives, but also sets a powerful example for others, right? By embracing this skill, we can navigate the complexities of life with confidence and grace, paving the way for a more balanced and stress-free existence. And I think we all deserve that, okay? I think on all levels, we deserve that. We deserve time to ourselves to kind of reflect how our day went. Um, Journal. I think that's a good time to journal. I think that's a good time to just like do some meditation, because you can do meditation, any time of the day you want. You can do it in the morning time. You can do it during your lunch, and you can also do it before you go to bed. Or if it's a break, if you're at work and it's your break time, and you really don't feel like talking to anybody, go sit somewhere and just be quiet and just meditate. You know, people do not realize that breathing exercise in here was awesome, but people don't realize how the little things, the real small things that we do, really, really help us, especially when we actually put it in practice and we're using it all the time. It really does help. It does change how you see things and how you think. And that's so, so important, right? Now, excuse me, y'all. I hate doing that, but I apologize for that. Okay. So, creating a realistic schedule. Let's talk about creating a schedule, right? So, creating a realistic schedule is an empowering step towards managing stress and enhancing self esteem. Many women juggle with numerous responsibilities, often feeling overwhelmed by their commitments, right? A well structured schedule can serve as a powerful tool to begin to regain control over daily life. Okay. Um, so, let's see, where did I leave off? A well structured. I looked away. By setting aside time for both obligations and self care, women can create a balanced approach that fosters personal growth and reduces anxiety. Because you got to remember now, because again, we're dealing with so many different people, we're dealing with so many different things. We do get anxious. Oh my God, am I going to get there in time? Oh my God, this meeting is not over yet. And you steady, I got to go pick up Scotty. Scotty is your little boy. Okay, But now I need to sit here and text Samantha and tell Samantha, can she pick up Scotty? Because I'm already 2 minutes over the time I'm supposed to be. Because again, you're using your schedule, right? You're using your timing. And if you're over and you're sitting there, you need to be concentrating on the meeting, but instead you're worried about whether Scotty gets picked up on time. You see what I'm saying? So once you get in the mode of putting together your timelines, your schedules, and everything works smoothly. You don't have to worry about that. You know that if nothing else, okay, you can tell Samantha, well, Samantha, for this week, I already know this is going to be a busy week because there's a lot of deadlines. So can you please be my pickup person for Scotty? Okay, I just need you to pick him up and I need you to take him to practice and let her know for that week. That's her extra task. Unless something happens and she's not able to pick them up, then you have to have a backup plan. I'm not trying to make this complicated, really, you guys. It might sound complicated, but it's not. But I'm just trying to say, okay, so you can sit at your meetings and you make your deadline at with comfort and ease, and like, okay, I know, I got it. I can go ahead and finish this. This can be done now because I know Samantha is going to be responsible enough to go make sure Scotty gets to where he needs to get. Okay, so it says to begin crafting a realistic schedule, it's essential to assess your current commitments and priorities. Consider all aspects of your life, including work, family, and personal interests. By identifying what truly matters to you, you can allocate your time more effectively. Exactly. This process not only clarifies your goals, but it also reinforces your confidence in making choices that align with your values, right? Next, incorporate flexibility in your schedule. Remember, we talked about adaptability and being flexible, right? Life is unpredictable, and rigid plans can often lead to frustrations. Oh my God, do that. Allow for adjustments and buffer time between tasks to accommodate unexpected events. So you have to make sure, like I said, if I have a block of time from 9 o'clock to 10:30 now because I told you I had to add something on. I'm noticing if one of those things on my list doesn't need to get done that day because it's a schedule I work on every day, right? And if I've already maybe no longer have to do something, I still have that block of time, 9 to 10:30, already mapped out for something else that can take its place. Okay. So keep that in mind. Um, so allow for adjustments and buffer time between tasks to accommodate unexpected events. This approach not only alleviates stress, but it also empowers you to navigate challenges without feeling defeated. Remember, a schedule should serve you and not contain you. Keep that in mind. Additionally, prioritizing self care within your schedule is crucial, right? Women often neglect their own needs while caring for others, leading to burnout and decreased self esteem. It's just like, okay. And then we think about this rigid schedule we on. You get upset if you don't get somewhere on time. You're frustrated. I know with me changing how I thought about doing things, being on time, when I start changing those things, those little tiny things, I stop being so stressed out about whether or not I've got get to some place on time or whether or not I get a task completed. I understand now. Again, 9 to 10:30, which gives me plenty of time if a task has already been done or a task has been done earlier than it was supposed to be done or a task that's been completed and I no longer need that slot for that particular task, right? I can change it. Now that I got more room to work, I can take that little time and work on another task, give it a little bit more time. So that flexibility is so important. You have to have that flexibility. Okay. It says here, additionally, prioritizing self care within your schedule is crucial. Women often neglect their own needs while caring for others, leading to a burnout and decrease in self esteem. By earmarking time for activities that rejuvenate you, such as exercise, hobbies, or relaxation, you foster a healthier mindset. This practice reinforces the belief that you deserve time for yourself, thereby enhancing your overall confidence. Wow. And finally, review and adjust your schedule regularly. That's right. So every week, if you got one schedule going, you got everything going, at the end of the week, look at that schedule and think about what needs to be done that next week. Now, if you already have your time slots already put together, you got everything put together, be willing and be able to do some adjustments because there's some kind of way. Say you forgot an appointment that you're going to have, right? You totally forgot about it. You got a call and you already put your schedule together for next week. You're going to get a little frustrated if you're that person that wants to stick to the schedule because, I mean, you forgot that you had an appointment at 1 o'clock. What do you usually do at 1 o'clock? You think about what you do at 1 o'clock. So now you have to adjust your schedule to get that one appointment on that particular day, right? And you have to be able to be open to do that. Okay, mind wise, you're like, okay, I'm not going to get frustrated about it. I have to get it done. I have to let them know at 1 o'clock I have an appointment. And you make sure if that appointment is very important to you, you need to go to it, then you make sure you make that appointment. Because again, it's about you. Okay, it's not about your schedule, it's about you. Final review and adjust your schedule regularly as you grow and your circumstances change. So too should you approach your approach to time management. Regular reflection of your schedule allows you to celebrate your achievements and reassess your priorities. By embracing this ir- irritative, irritative process, you empower yourself to thrive in a chaotic world, making stress management a natural part of your life. So being able to say no, setting boundaries, making sure that time management is a priority, and scheduling your whole life, which it sounds crazy, it will calm you down. I'm telling you, if you don't do it, I'm asking you to try it. Okay? I'm asking you to try it. Making time for yourself is so important. Schedule a day to yourself. Schedule a couple of hours in the evening time to yourself. Once you get everybody taken care of. If you have a closet, I'm just using the word closet, but a place where you can go for 2 hours and just relax. Do whatever it is that you want to do, but kind of calm yourself down. I told the story about my late sister used to do. She used to go in the bathroom. Her time away from the kids was to go in the bathroom. And we would be on the phone talking because that's like the only time she gets the chance to really talk to me other than when we're at work is because um, everybody needs her. Everybody has her pulling here. She's got to do this, got to do that. But the only time she could get that time was when she was in the bathroom. What she was doing in the bathroom all the time wasn't my business, but I got a chance to talk to her. So when I think about that and I know how her life was, that's like, yeah, she didn't know how to say no to certain things. Because she's like, I'll say, well, you needed, no, yeah, I could, but, and then she'll not do it. So yeah, that's very important. And it was very stressful for her a lot of times because she didn't go by a schedule or she didn't know how to say no. And I had to learn the same thing. And many of us have to do that on a daily basis. So I am gonna stop right there. Um Again, we're on here Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, Saturdays at 7:30 on Talk Shop Live. We will continue with this book. If you want a copy of this book, you can go to our website. You can't clip my wings, right? And go to shop, and you can purchase a copy of this book. If you're interested in any of our wrap dresses, if you look in our store on here, definitely do that. And you can also find them. You can also find them on our website. You can't clip my wings. There are other things on our website also that you can check out. I have other ebooks on there. I have my skincare on there. I also that's in the shop. I also have a lot of blogs on there. You guys can check out some older blogs that I've done. You can also check out some of our podcasts on there. I think I have about two or three podcasts. And also soon, and very soon, you'll be listening to Rooted and Rising Radio on my website, right? I was telling people earlier, because I don't think anybody was in there, that I had to switch out my box. So with me switching out my box, um, I had to wait till it come in. So I'm hoping that I can do more live shows on the radio station because that's a big thing for me. And we will be launching it soon, but I want to make sure everything is in place before I actually do a launch. Um, but yeah, and all that information is coming down the pipe. In February, as a matter of fact, next week after next, I think, February the 2nd is our next webinar. Okay. And if you're interested in being part of the webinar, please hit me up and give me, you can either hit me on Facebook or you can email me at celetabmccall@gmail.com. Let me put that on there too. Um, and oh, and we have to do our what's the names? Um, at almost forgot what I wanted to say. Let's see, did I do that right here? Okay, you can hit me up on my email and I'll add you to my list and you can be available for our February webinar. Let's see here. So it's on the 2nd, which is always going to be the first Monday of the week. I mean, excuse me, of the month. And I usually love to give away something at the end of each one of our webinars if you stay completely during the whole thing. If you decide that it's not something you want to listen to or be part of, that's fine. But I encourage you. Okay. Um, if you just so happen wanted to be part of the webinar and you were not able to, we can talk about replays. Okay, being able to have access to our replays. And it will be a limited time that I will be pushing the replays. Okay. And I'm going to put that schedule together for all our webinars. Um, but yeah, so we have a February webinar coming up, and I'm excited to get into that one. So, again, you guys, I want to say thank you. Oh, before we go, I got to do this. We got to do our affirmations, right? So let's go to our affirmations. Um, mm, mm, mm. So let's see here. So we were talking about affirmations. I think the last time we were talking about health. Um, this time I think we did some affirmations talking about success. Okay. So yeah, let's do these. Um, so this one, these are for success. So I am a magnet for prosperity. Okay. Number two, I deserve to be financially free. Three is my income is constantly mm, increasing. What a thing to say to yourself all the time. Just say it out loud. Abundance flows easily into my life. These some powerful. And the last one is wealth and success are my birthright. I like that. Okay. So, you guys, those are affirmations for this for today because we're definitely going to do this again. So let's do this again. We're going to say these all out loud. I am a magnet for prosperity. I am a magnet for prosperity. I deserve to be financially free. I deserve to be financially free. My income is constantly increasing. My income is constantly increasing. Abundance flows easily into my life. Abundance flows easily into my life. And the last one is wealth and success are my birthright. Wealth and success are my birthright. If you get an opportunity, I would like for you guys. I said it earlier. I did an album called Abundance Rising. This would go perfectly with that album. If you visit my YouTube channel, okay, it's called at Music Princess 2026. Okay, if you check that out, that is the album, and the first song is talking about abundance. Definitely check that out. Definitely subscribe. Subscribe wherever I am. Subscribe. Okay, can I say it to you like that? Wherever I'm at, subscribe. I need some subscribers for that channel anyway. Um, so definitely subscribe that. You can subscribe to my Substack. Okay, I have a Substack. It's called Celeta. I think it's called Celeta M. Yeah, Substack. Let me make sure, because I'll make mess that all up.com. Okay, just look for my name on that. Check out some of my posts on there. Matter of fact, one of the songs that I just finished up actually is on my last post. Um, because I thought it was kind of appropriate for that song to be put on there. So on my last post, so I guess I'm kind of start matching up my songs with my posts. So check that out. So you also can subscribe to that one. So that would be wonderful if you guys do that. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for hanging out with me here on Talk Shop Live. I hope the information that I shared with you today that you guys really, really can use it. Um, and you guys stay safe, stay warm, and if it ain't your fight, don't fight. Remember, we're talking about boundaries, learning how to say no, right? Your self esteem and confidence is so important. Your timing is precious, okay? Keep that in mind. Your timing is just as precious as someone else's, okay? All right. So, you guys have a great evening and bye bye.